I feel like I'm a third wheel when I'm with my boyfriend's family. So I've lived with my boyfriend for about 3 years now. But we've been together for 5 years. We're both 23. And since we live far away from our hometown, where both our families are, we have our families visit us every now and then. A bit of background on my boyfriend. We're very close. I mean that he always wants to be near me. He calls me cute nicknames and is just very cuddly and affectionate when we're together. When his family comes over, he's not like this anymore. He has his mother, father and sister who is 20 years old. I get along fairly well with them. But what puts me off is everyone's behavior. Another background about his family. They all absolutely dote on his younger sister a lot. Oh my princess, this and that. His parents are always, what does the princess want to eat? Where does the princess want to visit? And even my boyfriend will join in and uncontrollably pinch her cheeks, treat her like a baby, cuddle with her on the couch. And it doesn't help that she talks about herself a lot also. When his family is visiting and he walks into a room, he'll see his sister and go, "My princess. So cute. So adorable." And pinch her cheeks and wiggle their noses together, and then he'll come to me and be like, "Hey dear," and side hug. Am I the only one who thinks that's weird? And when we're going on trips to the store or just out, his dad will suggest that my boyfriend drives, and his sister always runs to the shotgun seat. And his dad sits behind him, and his mom sits behind his sister, and guess where I'm put? In the back. And normally I wouldn't mind. I mean, it's just a short drive. But no one will say anything to me, and my boyfriend won't even acknowledge me. And what makes it worse is that he and his sister are constantly laughing and talking. His mom and dad really only keep to themselves or interact with my boyfriend and his sister, so I'm kind of forced to just sit there in silence or be on my phone. And trust me, I've tried to insert myself into their conversations when it's like this, but it doesn't help. They're going to come over in a few weeks for a family visit and I'm so anxious about it. It always gives me stress. If anyone has advice, that'd be great. I'd love to hear it. P.S. Yes, I've brought up the car situation to my boyfriend. I've told him, it's kinda sad. I mean, I'll be put in the back of the car in silence just like every other time. And his response was pretty defensive and he said, "Oh please, you're not put to the back of the car, come on dear." And that was pretty much all he had to say about it. You can't get them to change their behavior. So change yours. If you're not really a part of those visits, go do your own thing. It doesn't sound like they would miss it if you weren't in the same room with them. It's really crappy that they treat you like this, but you're an adult, it's your choice to stay and take it. Strongly disagree. The people saying you're being selfish. You're supposed to feel included. It's not your job to break into the family dynamic, it's your friend's job to make you a part of the family. During conversations he should do things like, "Oh wow sister, that's so funny. Hey didn't something like that happen to you last week?" Becoming a part of someone else's family is hard and you need your so's help to do it. I don't think he's being purposefully neglectful, but that's exactly what this is. Neglecting your feelings. Tell him you need his help finding common ground with his family. His response was pretty defensive and he said, "Oh please, you're not put to the back of the car, come on dear." And what your response to that? Did you tell him how you feel? Why haven't you talked to him about how you feel? P.S. Yes, I've brought up the car situation to my boyfriend. I've told him, it's kinda sad. I mean, I'll be put in the back of the car in silence just like every other time, and his response was pretty defensive. Even here you never told him how you're feeling. Honestly, regardless of how they treat the little sister, you need to talk to your significant other about how you feel. It seems like you feel that he doesn't care about you being a part of his family, and I'd dislike that as well. Tell him that you'd love to get to know his family better, but that you have a hard time breaking into the conversations, and ask him to help you. If my significant other that I lived with didn't care about me getting to know his family and vice versa, I'd feel like he doesn't want me to become part of his family. Which, if your goal is marriage, it seems like he'd want. Up to you where you go from there. I'd think more about why you feel the way you, but it seems like it's because you don't feel like part of his family and you want to. You don't have to hang out with his family. They should understand and apparently won't care anyway. You've been dating the guy for 5 years and haven't developed a rapport with his family. That's what you need to address. Developing strong relationships with his parents and sister. When they come to visit him, they're coming to visit him. Sad fact is, if the relationship is like you've described, they probably don't care if you're there or not. You are an afterthought. Be proactive about forming bonds with them, seek out opportunities to do so. Don't try piggyback off their trip to see their son. Go visit them. Let your boyfriend have boys' time with the dad. Have girls' time with either the sister or mother. Try something, anything, to create a situation where you're not just an extension of your boyfriend but your own person, whom they can come to enjoy spending time with. It is a pretty strange dynamic. It sounds like they are lining up the sister to be very entitled. I would suggest talking with your boyfriend and explaining this as well as you can. Feeling ignored when his family is around will make you resent them and dread them. This is a weird red flag, but a red flag nonetheless. Oh yes, so weird. This is so cringy and so weird. His sister is 20 years old and not an actual baby, right? I would be so grossed out by this behavior. It's like creepy to be cuddling with your adult 20 years old sister on the couch and pinching her cheeks and calling her, so cute. I mean, really, this is going too far to be considered normal unless she is an actual baby. I would straight up set a boundary about not always having to sit in the back. Maybe ask to take turns on who sits in the back. As for the rest of that shit, you might have to learn to ignore it. Good on you, because I would have made so many sarcastic, snarky comments about the princess thing by now. I would have probably ruined everything. I remember clearly when my elder brother first announced to us siblings that he has a girlfriend before we even met her. He told us to make sure to be respectful to her and treat her as our elder sister, and in any kind of setting, we need to make sure to leave the seat next to him for her. Now that I'm dating my boyfriend, who also happens to be the eldest of his siblings, his sister was also very respectful towards me as her brother's girlfriend. Op should definitely have a serious talk with her boyfriend about this. It's a little weird, but not as weird as you being jealous of his familial affection. He lives with you. You get all of him all the time. Just be grateful he loves his family. What exactly do you want? For his parents to call you their little princess too? You're not their child. And you're seriously jealous of a kid riding shotgun? What? God forbid siblings talk and laugh together. Are you an only child? I'm getting real only child, emotionless family vibes from you. I don't understand why no one is commenting on the fact that this guy is cuddling his sister. My brother and I have that same age difference and we never cuddle. Even when we were kids, all we'd ever do was hold hands sometimes, but of course now that I am 20 and he's 23, we don't hold hands anymore. The princess thing is also creepy ASF. What is that? If anyone in my family said that to me in front of anyone, I'd die of embarrassment. You live with your boyfriend and you get 99.9% of his time. And now that he wants to spend time with his family who he almost never sees, you get all jealous and angry. Honestly, you seem very selfish. Man, I'd find an excuse to go somewhere else while they're around. You're in second place and always will be as far as he is concerned when it comes to his family. Do not marry this boy and expect to change. I'd tell him you do not like the current family second best situation and will be moving on. His choice. Sister need to know her place at your home. Tell your boyfriend is disrespectful to you to sit on back of car. Sister can sit with parents. If not, you are not going with them. Also, I would tell him next time he will say something like you are cute to not talk to you like that, because you are not his sister. She is not 6 years old. She is fully adult. Also, I would point their visit make you uncomfortable and you don't want to be included anymore if things will stay like that. You don't want to be a fifth wheel. I would cut myself off from them. Don't participate in uncomfortable situation, it's waste of your time. Been there for 36 years. It's just the way it is. You're the interloper. It will never change. It's not a bad thing, just different. Initiate individual activities. Over time, your strengths will come out and acceptance will develop. Honestly, I think it's time to find a new boyfriend. The family dynamic seems like it could get hella toxic. I mean, it's a 20-year-old getting doted on. I am willing to bet she doesn't even have a job. I would say cut your losses and break up with him because it looks like the potential in-laws could do you more harm than good. This is what I say, they do not accept you. No matter who it would be, no one can match the princess. I feel sorry for you, dear. It sound kinda like you're toxically jealous of your partner's family, and how much they all get along and treat each other. Honestly, it should just make you happy that he's happy and enjoying his family the way he does, because it's a sad and miserable time when someone doesn't have that kind of relationship with their kin. Learn how to let it go. His behavior isn't weird or unjust. You have a significant other problem. He puts his family before you and it won't change if you get married. Suggest couples counseling and maybe he'll get it when outsider tells him. How long are you going to live with your boyfriend? I suggest you dump him and move on before you waste all your youth and early 20s on him. Listen up, my situation with this kind of behavior is a little bit different than yours. But my ex who is 20 told me he'd cuddle with his brothers. I thought it was super weird, but then when he and his mom started having creepy physical contact I tried to talk to him about it and he blew me off. A few months later he left me and his son so he could be closer to his mom. I told a lot of my friends about the weird creepy mom stuff and they all told me I was an idiot not to leave at the first sight of unhealthy physical touch between them. This may be different for you since we don't know all the details, but if it starts getting too creepy, don't ignore it. I hate to say this. Your BF's family are really weird. Not the good kind. And seem like emotionally immature assholes in desperate need of therapy. The silver lining is that you are right in your assessment. I think your boyfriend is just shy to be affectionate to you in front of his family. Don't doubt his love, but do get distant when they are around. She's 20 and they are acting like that. Pretty strange behavior. I would feel like they are saying she only matters, not you, because you are the same age. You gotta put your foot down with him and say you don't like the behavior of the family and you're not going to repeat yourself anymore and that you would never let your family treat him that way. The parents sound immature, everyone does. Acting immature and oblivious when it seems intentional. One of the comments said to do your own thing and I agree 100%. I mean you are. They already have an established connection. Although they talk to you they have a wall up cause essentially you are a stranger. Anybody that's not connected by blood is a stranger. That's his family who he's known and been around since birth and you are the girl who's been in his life for 5 years. Remember that you are not his whole world. You are a part of it. His family is his anchor to this world cause that's where it started. I don't get how people get so worked up about this. Sibling bonds are deep and you as a girlfriend aren't connected because you aren't his sibling. You are his girlfriend and because of that you have a different type of bond which is different and special in its own way. Meh. You can't really do anything to change that type of dynamic, especially if your boyfriend is a doting older brother. I'm like that with my little sister too, and she's 24 and just became a doctor, but whenever I see her or text her I still call her baby. My advice is for you to actually get as close as possible to the sister. You guys aren't that far off in age. Maybe you guys share some common interests. Invite her to hang out sometime and act like a chill older sister that she'd want to look up to. The little sister seems to hold the most sway in their family, so if you can make her love you then the whole family will follow suit. That's actually what my girlfriend did and now my sister messages her far more than she messages me. It's actually irritating. I hate to say it, but he is treating his sister like his girlfriend and like she will be jealous if he is affectionate with you in front of her. You see yourself as third wheel. I'd say he is treating you like a side chick. There's a possibility that she may be his number one girl and you are there because it's looked down upon to be with her. I hate to speak this into existence, but I am close with my sisters and I don't ever cuddle them. I know many other siblings who are the same. Maybe worth noting, but you don't have to take my word for it, just my perspective. If you feel like you're the third wheel whenever his family comes visit, then get yourself out of that situation. I know how uncomfortable it can be when you're in that position and it's not good. Be independent. Go out, do things on your own. Don't care what his family and boyfriend does. Life is too short. Enjoy things that might get you out of that situation. Like hanging out with your friends, spending family time, working on hobbies, traveling, etc. Make yourself feel good. As above as a guide, don't take it to heart. I was reading this expecting in-laws from hell type of drama, but damn, this is easier stuff. My boyfriend and his family are very close. They are also at times hard work. But so are mine to him and we're not even close, we just have drama. That doesn't mean I like their behavior all the time. But challenging that is worse than just putting up with them when they visit. You live miles away from them, so I mean you don't even have to be around every time they come over. He doesn't speak to you a lot because you know his family live far away and he's spending time with them. I'd personally leave them to it. Join them for dinner, etc. That sound like a great situation. If they're bringing you along, polite to you, driving you places, I'd be happy as Larry with that. You can. Sorry, but get a backbone. If it bothers you, say something or do something about it. Next time you're out in the car, make sure you get the passenger seat, or you drive and let boyfriend take the seat in the back. They do it because you let them. The princess thing is what it is. It's weird because she's a grown-ass woman, but each to their own. Bye bun I on. It's weird. But it's not break up weird. Yet. It's, I'm going to skip your family gatherings as y'all are weird, and it makes you weird around me. Nobody is talking to me anyway, so I might as well not be there. Either that or join in the babying. I couldn't manage it as my mockery of the whole thing would be so evident. Honey, I think it's time for you to cuddle with your princess. Aren't you spending the night in her room? Hello. Boyfriend's name, Princess. What would milady like to do today? Nah. I can't fake like that. I'd make myself scarce. You are making yourself the third wheel. Also, if you're on your own and on your phone, the family are judging you. IV battled with this exact problem. Although it was the entire family, the siblings of his parents and his cousins, all ignored me. Take yourself out of the situation entirely. Let him have his family time, you go off and do something else. Only go with them if invited by a member of his family. Whose idea was it to move so far away from the family? They probably blame you, which is stupid as their son wouldn't have moved against his will. You can't force them to like you. But you also don't have to stand by and be treated like shit. Make other plans when they come to town. Stop putting in the effort for them to then disrespect you. He lives with you all the time, he sees his family once in a while. I don't really see an issue with him treating them nicely and spending more time with them than you when they visit. I feel bad for you. That sister sounds like a spoiled brat who continually gets smothered by her family. I wouldn't be able to stand someone like that, to be honest. If talking to your boyfriend doesn't help or he thinks you're the one that's dramatic, then I would get the hell out of there. You sound controlling, jealous and insecure. You live with him and get his attention 99% of the time but can't handle when his family had more of his attention the odd times they visit? Lol, that's on you, not him. They call a 20-year-old adult woman, princess. He and his family are fucking weird. If his family barely acknowledges your existence after 5 years of dating their son, then I wouldn't hold my breath on the dynamic ever changing. Whoa. His family sound like odd ducks. I wouldn't like to be around any of these weird people. Do you see a future with this guy? Imagine having a baby. Are they going to try to muscle their way in and push you aside every time they come around? They're doing it now and your boyfriend isn't standing up for you. He's got his sister, so he doesn't need a romantic partner. Run. Am I the only one who thinks this is weird? No, you're not. I'm also very weirded out. Right, wrong or indifferent, never get between your boyfriend and his family. A man's loyalty must run with his family unless they're losers. They sound a bit obsessed about the princess, but if it's only temporary stay, just put up with it. If you two ever get married, you have to understand you're really marrying the family. I do suggest that when they're headed to the store, you should stay home. Make up some bullshit about not wanting to go because you have the grizzly shits or that you want to take that pregnancy test with some peace and quiet. Tongue out if your boyfriend asks what's up. Wait until his family is gone before you get down to brass tacks. I've been where you are at and the only thing that I have found that works is going solo while they're visiting. Good luck. 4-leaf clover. Right, wrong or indifferent, never get between your boyfriend and his family. A man's loyalty must run with his family unless they're losers. They sound a bit obsessed about the princess, but if it's only temporary stay, just put up with it. If you two ever get married, you have to understand you're really marrying the family. I do suggest that when they're headed to the store, you should stay home. Make up some bullshit about not wanting to go because you have the grizzly shits or that you want to take that pregnancy test with some peace and quiet. Tongue out if your boyfriend asks what's up. Wait until his family is gone before you get down to brass tacks. I've been where you are at and the only thing that I have found that works is going solo while they're visiting. Good luck. 4-leaf clover.